Hello, this is Mrs. Alaina with Queens of Africa Uniting International Foundation USA, a 5013C organization, and I will have our information listed below. Um, and then you can access our website and our Facebook link. And if you'd like to give a donation, you can click on the PayPal link and give a donation. I am the founder and the CEO. And my topic today is dealing with the Ghana sanctions. I help advocate for people that's trying to come from Ghana and other parts of the country to get visas. I feel as though that sanctions was probably already in place with Ghana, just not actually mentioned. Stephanie Sullivan, the ambassador for Ghana, stated that sanctions was taking place today, February 4th for Ghana, and she gave the reason why due to the 7,000 deportees. Well, according to my source in Ghana, the 7,000 deportees are all not Ghanaians, and they were brought back on a plane in handcuffs and belly chains. It's kind of like a slap in the face and an open wound, considering that slaves was taken from Ghana and brought to America, enslaved as slaves and with chains and handcuffs around their belly, their arms, and their feet. So for Homeland Security to deport these individuals back to Ghana, it is as we would say, inhumane. It's not right, because once they get to their country, they are no longer a criminal. Therefore, if they did put chains around their ankles and their belly and their arms before they even touch down ground in a country, they should have removed those chains from around their hands, their belly, and their feet. I mean, where are they going to go? They cannot go to another country. They cannot jump flight. They cannot open up the plane and jump out of the plane. So what is the purpose of United States Homeland Security taking these individuals back to, and then, another thing, they didn't even get a court hearing. Each person is supposed to get a fair court hearing as to why they may be undocumented or for whatever criminal charge they have against them. With that being said, we said when one door closed, another good one opens. Ghana, back to Africa. We are here to build a positive relationship between the United States and Africa, starting with Ghana, because Ghana is our outreach country. Currently, we're working on a project to open a 24-hour hospital in Ghana that's going to save lives, create jobs, and create tourism. So we would like your support. We do have a couple of pieces of land that we can build on. So for those of you who don't know this, land in Ghana you never own. It's owned by the king. The kings own the land in Ghana. And yes, there are real authentic kings and queens in Ghana. You can present a monetary donation or offering or money to the king in order to use the land, and then get an attorney to help document that you are now leasing that land and you have partnership with that land, but you never actually own the land. So we have some land that we are proposing to build a 24-hour hospital. It's right outside of Accra. You can also click on our Facebook link and go to our videos, and then you will see the land. Back in 2014, I prophesied over the land in hopes of building affordable housing there and some other useful resources, such as a library, such as vendor spaces. Ghana needs some good infrastructure, and we want to teach African Americans that it's not that far to get to Ghana. You can get to Ghana in about 18 hours. I can drive from the West Coast down to the South in 24 hours, where you can still you can get a plane to Ghana from the East Coast or the West Coast. Actually, if you're on the, near the DC, New York area, it's like about 8 or 9, 10 hours at the most for you to get to Ghana. Your plane ticket may be slightly under $1,000. If you're coming from the Los Angeles area, the ticket should be like $1,200 to $1,500. And the flight is wonderful. It's a great experience to travel internationally. So back to the topic of the sanctions. You know, many people don't know this because they're not, quote unquote, into Africa. But the embassies in Africa, the U.S. embassies in Africa, Africa is 53 to 54 countries. And it's divided with 5 regions. And each of those countries, we're looking at 54 countries, have what you can call cities, compared to cities in America. You have about 500 to 1,000 people that apply and go to the embassy Monday to Thursday, because majority of the embassies, if not all, are closed on Friday. And they pay an estimate of about $200 US for a visa. Needless to say, maybe only 25 out of $1,000 out of 1,000 people only get a visa. So the rest of that money is being pocketed by the USA. And do some calculation here. If you take 54 countries, let's subtract Libya and Congo. If you take 52 countries, well, we're going to keep it at 54, times 1,000 people, that's going each day, Monday through Thursday, and then calculated by $200, estimate of $200 for a non-refundable visa fee. That's about $2 million that's being collected. We call that the best kept secret robbery. And the sad thing about it is, when these individuals go for a visa, they're hoping, they're praying, and they're fasting, only to be denied. And there is no black counselors that I know of that is interviewing these individuals to get a United States visa. These are our Caucasian counselors, and they just basically tell them, no, you don't qualify. One of the main reasons also they don't qualify, to tell them, have you ever traveled outside of your country before applying to come to America? And majority of them would say, no, they have not traveled. So no, you can't go to America because you're considered of a high risk. But they take their money and they have them standing outside in the hot Africa heat, because Africa is very hot. And they have them standing out there for hours. Sometimes it's pouring down rain and their documents get messed up or whatever. All that money, the U.S. embassies in Africa should put out some sort of covering or shelter, chairs for their clients, the applicants, to sit down and wait for them to come and do their interview. But no, they take their money, no refund, deny them a visa, have them standing outside for hours in the heat, waiting to be interviewed, only to say, no, I can't let you go to the United States. No, you cannot go to the United States. I know people who have applied 3, 4, 5 times, and they had sponsors. They have documents, and if the embassy person you don't look good or talk right or whatever, they'll just tell you no. And if you try to raise a concern about why you was denied, they will tell you they have other people in the queue waiting, or they will call security for you. This is how they are treated in Africa. This is how brothers and sisters are treated in Africa. They're treated with disrespect. And the government takes a lot of their money and don't give them nothing in return. And these are considered suppressed people. Africa is considered suppressed, but even though it has very rich resources, it's considered suppressed. So with that being said, let's rebuild Africa. And our starting point is Ghana. Our starting point is Ghana. So let's rebuild Africa. And we would like to put a 24-hour hospital, because a lot of people coming from America, because we are used to certain things and a certain lifestyle in America, if someone gets sick, they're going to be looking to go to the hospital. Because I can remember going to Ghana and then say, oh, I want to go to the hospital. And I was told, oh, we don't have a 24-hour hospital here. I said, you don't have a 24-hour hospital? It's like, no. I said, what do you do? What do you do? And so we want to put a 24-hour hospital there for people that's going to be traveling, who may have some medical problems and want to have the comfort of being able going to the hospital. And that's going to take money. It's going to take money. And we have a lot of people mind who know about Africa, but their mind is not there yet when it comes to donating to Africa. We got some people of other nationalities that will send a desk over, that will send a book over, that will send, something over other than money. But they don't want to give money to actually invest in Africa. They're sending missionaries over there, with medicine and or some food or whatever. But when it comes to giving money, no. And African Americans are not there yet as a whole when it comes to donating to Africa, because they have been stigmatized and brainwashed to believe that Africa just consists of a jungle with giraffes, elephants, and tigers and lions and people running through there with no clothes on. Well, there are villages out in Africa that, they have the hut housing, and they have the animals. You're going to find that more in Southwest Africa. You're going to find some in Ghana, but that's not the image. Ghanaians, Africans are just as much up on technology as we are here in America. They have access. They use a lot of WhatsApp. And they're advanced. They have cable wires. They have a lot of talk shows where they have a lot of Africans that are, anchors. And it's good to see that when you go there. It's good to see that when you go there. You see a lot of beautiful melanin skin walking around, beautiful brothers and sisters. I'm so intrigued and so excited when they speak different languages, beautiful languages. You look at them and you're like, that's amazing. Some of them speak French fluently. They speak their own native language. They're able to translate for you. They're able to mediate for you. And, here in America, we were stripped of that. We only know one language unless we are forced to go to school and learn Spanish, or we choose to learn French or some other language. But in Africa, you can be talking to someone that looks just like us, and then they start speaking another language. And it sounds so beautiful to hear them come from speaking English and then translate into a whole nother different language. And then they may meet somebody else and translate into another English. So we want to come together and build unity and educate each other and let you know that Africa is nothing to be afraid of. They have great investments opportunity in Africa. There are, the people are a lot of them are very humble and very nice and very, very nice. So this is something that you would want to experience for yourself. You can contact, one of the airlines we use is British Airways, and you can use Delta. And you can, there are some agencies that will allow you to make payment arrangements. You will have to get a passport. You can get your passport. The last time I checked, the passports are like $145. You also will have to get a yellow fever shot. Now, that shot is pretty expensive, but you have to get it. You cannot enter Ghana without it, so you have to get it. So if you're someone that says, I don't want anything inside of my body, well, let me let you know that I took the shot several years ago, and I'm fine. Nothing happened to me. So the shot is not going to do you anything. It's to protect you. Another thing you don't want to do is, because your immune system is not used to it, is eat off the street. So make sure you go to any part of Africa you go to, you want to make sure that you don't eat off the street because their system, their digestive system and immune system is different from ours. So in America, I should say, I'm not sure about any other part of the country like UK or whatever, but I'm speaking of being in America and then traveling to an African country. I usually go to ShopRite, the grocery store, and buy my food because there's an open deli case, hot case, just like if you was to go into your grocery store. And you can buy food there. And then there's a restaurant called Papayas, and there's some other restaurants that's there. There's Asian food there. Yes, the Asians are all up in Africa. So therefore, you would see that when you're there. And Africa consists of all nationalities. It's not just black African people there. It's other nationalities that live in Africa as well. So you're going to be very intrigued and very excited. So with the sanctions that's going on, I believe sanctions was taking place prior to Stephanie Sullivan saying it on February 4th. The requirements that they would give you and say, have you traveled before? There's people that have traveled before. They still did not give them a visa. They want you to make sure you, coming from Africa, you have ties back to your home because they don't want you to flee. I can understand that. They don't want you to flee. But I don't believe that's the real reason. I believe they just do not want black African people coming to America. And I feel as though it's a great insult because our prior ancestors was forced to come over to America on slave ships. And sometimes I really don't want to address that because we're trying to get past that and move forward and not keep opening up old wounds and keeping our people back in the past. But it's the truth. And as Africans, we should have more right to come to America than any other nationality because it was our prior black ancestors that came to America and built this country free. But their sweat, their blood, their pain, and their tears, we as black Americans and black Africans should have the right first before any other nationality to come to America. America has a visa exchange program of 38 countries. There's not one African country that I saw, and if I didn't see it and overlooked, it's my apology, but I did not see not one African country on that visa exchange program. And what that means is that USA has made an agreement with these countries that they people can come to America without a visa, without all those restrictions, and be here for 90 days. And I do not see now one African country on that visa exchange program. That is discrimination. It's discrimination. Because again, black Africans have the right to be in America before any other nationality. And we have to get past that. We have to get past that if you're talking about we're going to come together in unity. And no one should be intimidated by a black person. No one should be intimidated by a black person. We're not here to intimidate you. We're here to bring unity, educate, and show love, and be one. I know that's why I'm here. I know that's why my purpose is. Not here to stir up no trouble. Not here to stir up hate or keep hate going or whatever. No. We need to get past that. We need to get into learning each other and bridging the gap. And I don't believe that America wants that. It say it does, but it doesn't want that. Because if that's the case, why are you putting sanctions down? And why are you giving people a hard time from Africa to come to America anyway? Libya, they can't even apply due to the war and the politics. Libya can't even apply. You see what's going over in Libya. They have slavery going on in Libya right now. Slavery. I mean, I'm talking about people that's being handcuffed and beaten and inseminated. A whole bunch is just going on. So I wanted to address what Stephanie Sullivan stated about the sanctions and about Ghana. and what they're not going to do. Let's come together, invest in Ghana. Invest in Ghana. You can go to our link. We want to build, again, a 24-hour hospital for those people that's traveling from America. And it's going to benefit other people from other countries as well. Let's get a donation going. It's going to take a lot of money to build a hospital in Ghana. Not the same amount as it would cost to build in the USA. But you can email me if you're interested in investing. You want to know about the land that's out there. If you're interested in traveling to Ghana, you can start saving your money. You can start paying the agency, making payments to an agency. Again, you can send a donation to PayPal. And again, you can also get your passports. Go and get your passports. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's going to be different when you step down off the plane. One thing I'm hoping that they graduated from when you go to Ghana is that when you got to walk down steps to get to the terminal where you're going to check in at. Hopefully they have gotten past that. And when you get there, it's going to be hot. It's going to be a little muggy hot, but that's okay. You're just going to be glad to be in the motherland. Ethiopia is a good place. Also, Ethiopia is a good place to travel to. Uganda, Kenya, all these places have great investments. But if you have a friend, a good person that you communicate from another country on Facebook or Twitter or any part of your social media, you want to communicate with them and make them your point of contact. So when you get there, you'll have someone to meet you and greet you, and they will be able to mediate for you. They will be able to mediate for you. Again, this is Mrs. Alaina, the CEO and founder of Queens of Africa United International Foundation USA, a 501c3 organization. For those of you who want to donate, there is a tax deduction. We also have an NGO in Ghana, which is called Malachi's International Ministries NGO. Malachi's International Ministries NGO has been established since 2014. And the purpose of our organization there is to help people, help those who are less fortunate. We focus on helping kids and young adults. And our focus there is to build infrastructure. So we collaborate with our organization here, which is the Queens of Africa United International Foundation, USA organization, to come together with Black Americans. And for those who would like to learn about Africa, learn, what they have been missing based on what they have been told. We are planning to give a cultural arts event May 18 and 19 in Los Angeles of this year. That is our projected time. It may actually change, but that is our projected time. And you can look on our website, which is www.queensofafricausa.org. That's www.queensofafricausa.org. If you miss it, you can go and you can look down below and get that information and click on the link. It's been great talking to you. Let's not get discouraged by the sanctions. Let's get past that. Let's build Africa. Let's build, if your DNA traces you back to Uganda or Kenya or any part of Africa, that's where you want to go, and that's where you want to start investing with your resources. That's where you want to start investing with your resources. Some of you don't know your DNA, but your DNA, the spirit within you will drive you back to where you come from. The spirit within you will drive you back to the country where you come from, whether it be Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, any of those places. There's 54 countries, and slaves was taken from all of these countries. So therefore, you'll have something in the inside of you that's itching you and driving you, and you're just curious as to where did you come from? Why do you feel as though you have that connection? That's the Spirit of God pushing you. That's your ancestral spirit pushing you, because I know it's driving me. My grandpa on my mother's side is from Ghana. But of course, being here in America, you get your name get changed when you come over. Got many of our people name was changed. But anyway, there's a spirit that drives me to help Ghana, and there's a spirit that drives me to bring a connection between us. And to help rebuild them. Sometimes it's challenging. It could be very discouraging, but at the end of the day, it could be very rewarding. So, with that being said, I'm going to sign up for now and look at the information below. Go to our website, share, tell your friends, your family to come together. Try to attend one of our events. Always look at our website. Try to attend one of our events, as well as help us with donations. We need donations. We don't discriminate where the money is coming from. It doesn't matter what color donates. If you're Caucasian or if you're, Mexican, whatever, and you want to donate to help build a hospital in Ghana, please, by all means, send us your donation. It's tax deductible, and I thank you for watching.